class. Hello, my name is Damon Borrelli. I'm your professor for our course on the foundations of business. Now this week we're going to undertake to get started in our course by learning the concept of mindfulness and applying it to the business environment in which we find ourselves. So let's understand first what mindfulness is, discuss how then we're going to apply it, and then how we're going to show others that we've learned a valuable skill. First off, what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is an appreciation of the environment in which we find ourselves. In this case, it's the business environment. How are we going to learn to be mindful? That's a critical question. For our purposes, I'm going to have you watch two movies, each about the ability of an individual to learn to be mindful. Now the first one is an older movie. It is the adaptation of the book Kim, written by Rudyard Kipling. Now, in this movie, a young child, Kim, is recruited to be a spy on behalf of an older gentleman who's working for the United Kingdom. His name is Redbeard. Kim is taught by Redbeard to learn to calculate the number of people in a bazaar, for example, what they're buying, where they're taking it, etc. Now, Redbeard's purpose in teaching Kim is then to have him be with individuals in opposition to the United Kingdom, in this case Russia, and then to be able to relate back what those individuals are doing, where they're going, how they're doing it. And it's very important for Redbeard to get this information not only in a format that he understands, but in one that he can report back himself. And so to Redbeard, it is very important that Kim be taught the concept of mindfulness in a way that will be effective for Redbeard. And so as you go through the story has many different themes that arc through it. I want you to observe on a critical level how it is that Kim learns to be mindful and then applies that knowledge. The second movie I'm going to have you watch is the movie The Devil Wears Prada. Now in this movie, the character played by Anne Hathaway also enters the movie with limited mindfulness. In this case, she's in the world of fashion and she really doesn't have too much care or concern about it. However, as the movie progresses, her mentor, reluctantly, that would be Meryl Streep, teaches her about the concepts of fashion, what's important, what to look for, etc. Several characters actually assist her in that effort. And what you'll see is a character who goes from being in their environment to one who is able to observe the environment in a critical fashion, remember what's important, and then relate it back to her superiors. Again, learning to be mindful. Now you watch these two movies, hope they're entertaining, and then you say to yourself, okay, that was fun, now what do I do? That's the next step of this process. It's going to be field work. And I believe field work is critical to learning. So, what is field work in this case? It's very simple. During the course of the next week, you're going to go out shopping numerous times. Maybe you go to the supermarket, or maybe you go to buy some clothes. You might go to a hardware store. I want you to take the concepts that you're learning from Kim and The Devil Wears Prada, that idea of watching what's happening around you, being able to remember it and then relate it back as you walk around. Okay? How are stores laid out? How does the staff respond to your entry? How do they make sure that you don't leave without finding something? Did you find something? Was it what you wanted? Was their selection of products what you expected? All these things are very, very important. I just want you to become mindful of them as you walk through the various and sundry locations that you shop. And then at the end of that, next week I'll put a discussion board up. In that discussion board, it'll ask you to tell us what you saw. Tell us what you observed. Now, don't worry if you report on the same store that somebody else reported on. Remember, we're all learning here together. There may have been things that the other person saw that you didn't see. They went to a different location maybe. Maybe you saw something they didn't see. Again, we're all learning together and bringing this information together. And so you see, without realizing it, once you write those things down, you're now going to be truly observing, remembering, relating. You learned how to apply it, and then you went out. And remember, here's one key part. When you watch the movies, nobody's writing anything down. Maybe it's the movies, but that's reality too. I don't want you to write anything down. If you were a stock analyst and you start writing things down, people would know right away why you're there. So you just go through the store, watch what's happening around you, and then remember it to yourself. Okay? That'll improve your own memory and own skills at observing as you go along. Okay? So that's the assignment for this week. Again, very straightforward. Watch the 2 movies, enjoy them, I hope, and then take that information out into the field. You're going to apply it, and you're going to give us a short report on it in the discussion. Now, second part. Each week you'll see that I'm assigning a chapter or 2 for you to read, and there's a quiz associated with it. The chapter and the quizzes give you the foundational information, okay, for the event that we're going to try to undertake. Okay? If we're looking at planning or controlling, we'll then have you go out in the field and try to apply that knowledge. I firmly believe, and you'll see as you go through these videos, that it is useless to just have you sitting someplace reading a book and saying, I got an A on a quiz. No, I like people to go out and be able to apply what they've learned, because you know what? That's what business is about. Business is not about sitting in a room and tapping away on a keyboard, though sometimes we do that. It is also about getting out into the environment and being a part of the environment. So that's what our goal is for this week. I hope you enjoy the movies, and I get to say to you now what I always say at the end of videos: I'll see you soon on the TV. Have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.